Friends, imagine waking up one morning, turning on your tap, and nothing comes out. Not a trickle, nothing. Now imagine that this is not a nightmare. This is Tuesday. This is Bengaluru 2024. One of India's most powerful cities, home to the headquarters of Infosys, Wipro, and some of the biggest tech campuses on the planet, was rationing water like a war zone. Residents were paying 4,000, 5,000 rupees per tanker just to survive. And the question that nobody in power wanted to answer was simple: how did we let it get this bad? Friends, today we are going to go deep into that question because what happened in Bengaluru is not a local story, it is a warning. And Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, and they are all reading the same warning and mostly ignoring it. Let's go back to the beginning. India is home to 18% of the world's population, but it holds only 4% of the world's fresh water. 4%. Let that sit for a moment. Every city, every farm, every factory, every human being running on 4%. The pressure on that number has been building for decades, but now the pressure is winning. Pay attention to two things here. First, the speed of urbanization. Second, what lies beneath the ground. Between 2001 and 2021, Bengaluru's population nearly doubled. Chennai absorbed millions of migrants. Delhi crossed 30 million people. These cities grew faster than any government could plan for, faster than pipelines could be laid, faster than lakes could be protected. And here is the brutal truth. As the cities expanded, the very systems that once fed them water were quietly destroyed to make room for them. Bengaluru once had over 260 lakes. Today, functional lakes number fewer than 10. The rest were encroached upon, built over, turned into apartment complexes and IT parks. The natural sponges that once recharged the groundwater, gone. And then came the bore wells. Now see the twist in the story, friends. When the lakes disappeared and the piped water supply fell short, residents and builders did what anyone desperate would do. They drilled down, deeper and deeper. Bengaluru today has an estimated 500,000 illegal bore wells. 500,000. The water table, which sat at 10 to 15 meters in the 1990s, now sits at 300 meters in some areas. 300 meters. And still, the drills go deeper. Chennai saw its own version of this collapse in 2019, when all four of its major reservoirs ran completely dry simultaneously. Offices shut, hotels closed. The city that built India's automobile industry was importing water by train. By train, friends. But there is another twist in this whole story. Even where water exists, the infrastructure to deliver it is crumbling. Delhi loses an estimated 40% of its treated water to leaking pipes before it ever reaches a home. 40%. The pipes in many parts of the city are 60, 70 years old. The money to replace them exists on paper, in budget allocations, in government schemes, in press releases. But on the ground, the pipes keep leaking and the money keeps disappearing. Now, friends, I want you to hold that image, the leaking pipe, because it is the perfect metaphor for the entire crisis. The problem is not just scarcity. It is mismanagement layered on top of scarcity, layered on top of climate change, because the rains are changing. The monsoon that India has depended on for 5,000 years is becoming erratic. Bengaluru received 60% below normal rainfall in the winter of 2023. Chennai has experienced 3 major droughts in the last decade. And climate scientists are not being subtle about what comes next. The question is anyone actually fixing this? Honestly, friends, the picture is mixed. Chennai, after its 2019 crisis, invested seriously in rainwater harvesting and made rooftop collection systems mandatory. Water levels in its reservoirs recovered. It is not a complete solution, but it is proof that policy can work when there is political will. Some neighborhoods in Bengaluru have built community managed lake restoration projects. Small wins, real wins, but scattered and underfunded. The solutions are not mysterious. Protect lakes, fix pipes, price water honestly, harvest rain, treat and reuse wastewater. Every water secure city in the world does some version of this. The technology exists, the knowledge exists. What is missing is urgency at the level of government. And that is where you and I come in, friends. Because governments move when citizens demand it. The people of Bengaluru who protested during the 2024 crisis, they were not wrong to be angry. Anger, directed correctly, is civic responsibility. The tap running dry is not an act of God. It is the result of decisions made by people over decades, which means it can be changed by people. Starting now. If this video made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And stay with me, because this conversation is far from over.